Hello and welcome to Let's Play Blade of Darkness. Let us watch the intro to this level, I guess.
In Ephira, the mad King Azud ordered his dwarven artisans to build a temple guarding the tomb of his wife, the great Queen Asha, and all her secrets. A few years later, when he died, he was buried in a chapel near the temple. After that, several kings of the Ishabad were buried there. The temple and the tombs were abandoned many years ago, and since then they have become famed as a place of peril. They say that many tomb robbers and other adventurers have disappeared there, giving it the reputation of an accursed spot. All the actions of the enemy seem to suggest a search for some particular object or information which they didn't find in Tel Halaf or Kelbegen. Their next target will probably be Ephira.
Alright, so if you remember the epilogue of the dwarf mine Kelbegen thing level, you might have thought that the Queen Asha was the wife of the dwarven king, but not. Actually, she is the wife of this king, whatever mentioned in the intro. I already forgot his name, doesn't matter. Not King Freyr of the dwarves. It was probably only mentioned there because dwarven people built this here tomb. Alright, now since you didn't see me play through Tel Halaf and Kelbegen as the Amazon, I will do a brief overview of my weapons that I have right now. Spear, finally was able to do Whirlwind somewhere at the beginning of Tel Halaf. Trusty Thing carried me throughout the entirety of Tel Halaf, but I don't need it anymore. Naginata, piece of crap, you find it in Tel Halaf. There is never a single point in the game where you have to use it, where you should use it even, because it's shorter than the spear, you cannot really hit people with it as reliably, barely does more damage than the spear, but when you pick it up you cannot do even the Whirlwind, so spear, better. Naginata, piece of crap. Trident, you find it in Kelbegen in the leftmost passage from the hub, where you go down an elevator, then your normal path is forward, I think, and then instead of that you go left, down another elevator, there is a little like courtyard place around the column, down there there's a potion, and this thing, which you should get as soon as possible, because it kicks ass. You can do the Whirlwind immediately as you get it, if you kill everyone, of course, in the appropriately level, and it's just the best, but I don't need it anyway. And I only have the bow left. I mean, bow doesn't really need an explanation. So, only scrubs enter through the direct and obvious way, of course, so we will have to endure Amazon's really excruciatingly slow climbing animations. Well, I mean only that animation, this one is fast enough. But for this one, the mocap actor, I think, should have been way more in shape. This is shameful. Anyway, you might wonder why I threw all my weapons away. That's because there's an axe spear right here, which is the best thing for now, and will carry me throughout this entire level. Don't need anything else, didn't need my previous weapons. Kills everything. The scythe, surprisingly, isn't a weapon for the Amazon. I found out she only does this little weak, slow, overhead, out of stamina sort of attack with it. Holy shit, lags. And so I'm guessing it's for the Barbarian, since it's two-handed and too heavy for the Amazon. Only the Barbarian is left. Alright, and this is the end of the area we get through if we go through the top entrance. All there is to it is, of course, all these health items and the axe spear, which you get like 2 orcs earlier than you would otherwise, because there's another one in this very level pretty soon. But it's good to get it. And of course you go kill that archer, which probably gets annoying if you don't, but I don't think I've ever entered this level through the bottom part. So yeah, there's that. The Amazon, of course, as you might remember from me saying it like 500 times, is overpowered. Her weapons do a lot of damage just by themselves, and she does like thousands of hits with her combos, so no problem anywhere. And of course her weapons are long. The only thing that this makes harder is hitting really small targets, because you got to keep your distance away from them. You cannot approach them like with every other character pretty much. You have to be slightly far from them to hit with the very tip of the weapon. But let's see, maybe this orc will pose a challenge, because orcs are dangerous usually in this game. Not really. You could kill him in one combo actually, but he blocked me with a shield first time. But the combo breaks the shields very fast as well, so good thing the Amazon doesn't need to use them, because I think she would not get any shield from any enemy which would be in good condition, because, you know, overpowered. And can catch enemies mid-jump, which causes them to play their death animation in mid-air and then proceed to hang like this. And you can easily cut off all their parts, spraying lots of blood everywhere, which is great fun. Always. There's an archer in that window, of course I will completely ignore him. Whoop-de-fa! Well, he missed me somehow, even though I'm pretty sure the arrow hit me. Alright, another orc. Waiting here in the darkness. Also blocked me. But yeah, check out how much damage I do. I mean, this is ridiculous. And I will not point it out anymore because, well, I probably will actually. You know, I cannot stop pointing this out, but I think I made my point. Now, while I ascend this hill tower, this here tower, I shall mention funny story about this update. This is the second time I'm recording it, and that's not the extent of the technical issues I had, because well, first time I recorded it, everything was fine. By the way, here's the X spear again. Everything was fine, and I said my audio file and everything, video file, opened Vegas project, but apparently Vegas decided that since there was in the opened project there was like traces of another audio file named exactly the same as the one I had from the previous update from, I think, Crusaders, it decided that it would be a great idea to make the new audio file that I just saved completely blank. So I lost my voice and I didn't want to record the voice apart from the footage, so I had to replay from the start since I overwrote my save at the beginning of this level. I had to replay through the first 3 levels as the Amazon. Then I get to this level, I save, rest for like 5 minutes, go back ready to record, load the save, and it is corrupted. It crashes as soon as the save loads. So I rage for a little bit and then I have to replay the first 3 levels as the Amazon again. Which is, I mean, this is probably the best character to have that happen to, because she's easy. By that I mean she's easy to play. By the way, Way of Armina, some sort of map ends up in our inventory. We cannot look at it. Nothing selected. Whoop, that is not what I wanted to do. Mace, why would I even need this mace? This is a piece of crap. Lever instead. I think this might be like the one lever in this game which has this model. For the longest time I didn't even see it because of that, because this window is right here, man. You can just as easily jump out of it, you don't really get that much damage. Yeah, kick him, girl. By the way, if you noticed, there was a unlit torch at the room where, like, the top entrance to the very level. That's like one of the 2 torches in the level, and I think near it is the only place you can actually light a torch. You might run here and set these crates on fire, because it's the only way to destroy them, but you will find that there's probably nothing in them, so whatever. That's kind of strange. There's a place later in this level where I could really have used a torch, but there isn't one near enough, and I think every torch would run out by the time I get there. So with my darkest shit monitor I'll have to do that place sort of blind, but I did it already once, so whatever, manageable. Also, I appreciate the realistic way, sort of realistic way in which the barrels are destroyed. These rings of iron are like separate, they aren't just textured on the planks like they could have done. This guy is an idiot. This is what happens to people who don't block immediately. And once again, appreciate the ability to cancel, roll cancel. I feel like such a pro doing those things like roll cancelling. I suck at fighting games, so finally being able to do some sort of cancel is a blessing. Alright. And apparently the goblins and orcs and such were too dumb to look under the map for the key, because there is no more of them anywhere further. This iron lock stopped them completely dead in their tracks. Although that map was theirs, if I understand correctly, because, spoiler alert, on it you see the location of the base of the enemy, which is revealed after we beat this level. So I think the map is theirs, but they put it on top of the key and then forgot about it, I think, or something like that, because they didn't get here. Now our enemies shall be undead, but first let's go into this tomb here. Let's read this. Oh.
The king alone holds the key that will lead to the heart of his beloved. Are you perchance the king? Or are you merely a miserable thief skulking in the shadows?
First of all, I love her voice. I love the accent a lot. Doesn't really look like her. You can sort of watch, like, pause the video at the moment where she is facing the camera and look at her face. She doesn't look. That sounds kind of like Middle Eastern, I want to say, but she doesn't look it. But whatever. Second of all, I'm totally the king, and this is, by the way, fetish races. A fetish is the key to the heart of the queen, because she is a kinky sort of woman, I guess, maybe. And yes, I know that fetish means something else as well, but that's just subtext. Like, I like this interpretation better. Anyway, I'm totally the king, I'm not a thief, I'm not raiding any tombs here. I'm a king, and I will just go to my tomb and retrieve the key that holds the way to the heart of my queen, blah blah blah. You don't need to go down here, even though you totally can. It's kind of pointless. This building here. There's skeletons in this building. Skeletons. I don't know why he turned like that, by the way. Aren't very dangerous, but you might want to not try to interrupt them while they're doing their rage attack, the 3-hit combo, this thing. Because sometimes it doesn't stun lock them, or you miss, and they hit you a couple times with it, which sucks, so as usual it's best to sidestep slightly and then proceed to turn first, turn to them, and then attack. They are apparently weak to blunt weapons, but who the fuck cares about that if we have this awesome axe spear, which is better than anything else? I don't think it's blunt, because I think it cuts people like orcs. You could see it cut them, and I mean it's an axe, so it makes sense. Also there's only broken stuff here. But still the skeletons crumble and die very fast. This is a secret. I didn't know about it. I read about it, I think. Although I remember finding these as when I was playing this game way back as a kid, but upon replays I hadn't found it at any point. I only just read about like a walkthrough to check unless what the fuck am I trying to say? To check if I missed an Amazon armor, because for some reason I had the feeling that the Amazon armor was earlier than it actually is in the game, and I noticed the mention of these two secrets. Yeah, there we go. This hammer looks really cool. It's probably best used by the dwarf. I don't know, maybe it would be used by the knight as well. I'm betting on the dwarf, but apparently it's pretty weak. Although it does have the runes on it, which, like, I mean, you don't really have to look for runes anymore. We have all 6 of them here on this hammer. Apparently it's pretty weak, and the attack, the special attack, which probably has something to do with venom, is available way later when it's completely powered by every other weapon you have. So there is no point in keeping it until that time where you can use its attack. At least that's what I read. Don't quote me on that yet. That's that place where you could go down, by the way. There is the graveyard lock, I think. We'll go there later. Of course, we don't have the key yet. Okay, here's a fun part. In that little part of the room there is a trigger for an ambush. Ambush is here. I have turned my speakers slightly down, so I can't exactly hear very well if I'm hitting that guy. But yeah, there is a guy behind that wall. Let's just deal with this guy. What the fuck just happened there? Okay, let's see. Yep, that guy is dead. Very dead. Ambush is triggered here. The wall blows up. Eventually, I mean, initially when I played, I did just run here and I saw this ledge and it looked kind of like a crack in the wall, so I kept attacking it and I heard the sound of a skeleton dying. and I understood everything. Ooh, 360 no scope. But yeah, it's kind of strange that they place the trigger here. But then again, they probably are going to just run forward. So whatever. Does not matter. By the way, these things, you cannot light a torch with these things. This is an aspect of this game which Rune does much better, because on Rune it is consistent, you can light a torch on pretty much any flame. But in this game, tough shit. Only very specific parts. The rest of the firing objects, you can even select them, and when you try to use them with a torch, they'll just say something like, the item cannot be taken, or some shit. Okay, let's jump here. Here is, there is the key beyond the skeletons. Yep. That is why you don't try to attack them first. They will sometimes get their hits in. Graveyard key, I was correct. Full life potion, I am just such a boss that I already have one. But why not? Let's drink it and get this, because we are not coming here again. The Amazon jumps farther than anyone else, so it's not quite as unnerving to make all these jumps with her, which I enjoy. This is just one more thing that she excels. There's the other torch in this place, and yeah, you can see. Screw you, you cannot. This even isn't not even selectable. That sentence was very well said, Antroid. I commend you. Alright, down here is what I call the farm. And it's probably not accurate, but it is what it is. There's a couple enemies here. New enemies, upgraded zombie guys, knights, I guess, maybe. They are as useless as the zombies, and maybe even more. They can die before the hit points hit 0 if you cut off their head with a lucky shot. They just have pretty much negative defense, die very easily, as you can see, give shit tons of experience. So this place is a must visit, even though there is nothing really useful in here. And yes, the power potion isn't very useful either. The sword here, I think. Yep, the sword. Don't need it. And yeah, this is why I call this the farm, because you get a lot of experience here. And you cannot really farm it, because none of the enemies return, of course. But I mean, why wouldn't you visit this place? So much XP, couple level ups in this place alone. I think this level is like the most level up-ish level, because you enter it at 8 normally and you quit it at 12. Yeah, can apparently knock them down without killing them. Yep, parts are just flying around. And here's where you exit. Very convenient layout, I have to say. Without feeling like some sort of Skyrim style dungeon teleport back, you end up here. Actually, you can very much get here through this direction. And if you go through this part in this direction, of course, it's kind of strange because the triggers are at the... oh, I missed one. At the entrances of the rooms. Well, killed that one in one hit. But if you go backwards, they're at the exits of the rooms and everyone will spawn behind you pretty much. So they didn't really think of that too well, but I guess, well, this game technically it's not very well made. There's glitches, there's bugs, the character movement is really crappy sometimes, like the slopes and stairs and stuff. But artistically, I guess it's pretty well made. And the gameplay is fine, it's just fine, even though there is a lot of stuff that could be done better. I think could have been done better at least. Like some balance issues, some weapons that are useless just because, and I mean some weapons and combinations that are useless because you don't get enough level, enough experience, while that weapon is relevant to use the combination, the combo, the special move with it. And stuff like that. The Amazon could probably stand to be slightly weaker. Although I'm not really complaining. I mean, it's interesting. It's like a fact about this game that the Amazon is overpowered. But if I was to change something about her, I would make her attacks just do less damage, because it's kind of ridiculous that she does these way a lot of hit combos and they still hit. Every single hit hits pretty much as hard as any other character's single hits, if not more. Some of her hits are ludicrously powerful. I will show it off as soon as we get to level 11. Because at that point we get a ridiculously powerful combo for the trident. Alright, let's fight a mini-boss. This level has 2 new mini-bosses, which is cool. This is the first one. First of all, of course, she will try to lift this thing-majig tomb lead thing with her arms, which is, I mean, good luck with that. But this nice little guy does it for her. I think this is the king, which, again, I forgot the name of. But you'll see why I think this is the king in just a couple seconds after I kill him. Well, I exaggerate, he is not quite that frail, even though he is pretty much just a skeleton. A skeleton with a shield that I think is indestructible for all, like, as far as you're concerned while you're fighting him. This is a unique shield called King's Shield, if I remember correctly. When you get it, it has 1000 durability points, and even if you hit it multiple times while fighting the guy, the shield will still be in full repair when you get it. So that's why I'm thinking that while he wields it, it's indestructible. Well, that, and I never managed to destroy it, so yeah, there's my logic. And I am slightly close to death here, which is disconcerting. Come on, hit him. Yeah. There we go, level up. And whoa! Did you see? I think I was level 9, really close to being level 10, and now suddenly I'm bam, level 11. And I'm not in control. I wasn't in control there, but you probably saw something on the top of the screen. And this, by the way, is the fetish. So this guy was holding it, which leads me to believe that it was the king. But yeah, that thing you might have seen. Let's see if I can hit it my first try. Yeah! Too bad the arrow doesn't fall down, I think. If it did though, it probably could damage me. Because, you know, if you throw a weapon in the wall and it rebounds and hits you, you do get damage from that. Alright, here is where I really want a torch. I think I will actually go and try and get one. From the very beginning of the level, although first I have to kill a couple of skeletons. Because for some reason, even though an exit opens up there, you can bypass this courtyard. If you go here after killing the king, a lot of skeletons spawn in here. Let's show off my new move, shall we? Whoop. I don't have enough stamina anymore. Let's be careful. Let's be really careful. Okay, this guy needs to die. Before someone steals him is my frag. Okay, here, well, she started. Okay, alright. Maybe this thing isn't the best against hordes of enemies. And of course it will not show off the awesome hit damage if there is only one weak one. But you can see there how much damage it did. Yes, exactly. You are seeing this right. Shit. I'm just not even thinking about what the hell I'm doing here. Yeah, there's that attack. Powerful indeed. Does like 900 fucking points of damage. So you can climb up here. Or you could have, you know, went from up here. There's a lever obviously on that side. There we go, 1000 hit points plus shield, all gone. Amazon, everyone. This was a much more successful demonstration. Yeah. And I don't think anyone hit me while I was recovering from my stamina loss. That's marvelous. I honestly expected that to break his shield because, you know, the Amazon is like that. But yeah, let's go grab the torch real quick. The first torch in that secret place. I could also probably drink something. I think there was a potion left up here. Apologize for this bit of backtracking, but due to my dark monitor, as always, that's my excuse forever, I cannot see crap down in that rune trap, and even though that rune trap is probably like the easiest of all rune traps, I think maybe that's just like, apart from one other which might not have a trap at all. If you cannot see anything, it's kind of troublesome. So let's hope the torch doesn't run out while I hurry and haul ass back to that place. I shouldn't worry about fall damage, not very damaging. Though she could stand to not just sit in place so much after getting fall damage. Like, take lessons from Link, who just rolls. Alright, let's do it. So, there's that thing, which starts swinging if you run close. Fuck, I think no, I didn't screw myself. Alright. Whew! So this alcove is here, and you can barely see it, usually. Run, you piece of crap! Whoo! Ha! Well, normally you don't really have weapons here, so you run faster, I guess. But that was close. Thankfully, this thing locks up there again when you open this. Let's read the rune.
Of how Ahura Mazda, heavy of heart at the sin of his sons, the gods, withdrew himself to the far depths of the universe, and how since then he has not been seen by the Avestas, from where the wise men say he will only return at the end of time.
So yeah, there's that. And as I was saying, like for me right now here it's almost pitch black, so excuse me for running back for that torch. Even though I put myself in really unnecessary risk, since I apparently ran slower the torch and was barely able to escape that, and it was nerve-wracking. By the way, here is that place with the burnable crates and stuff, the archer in the window. Just to show you, these levels do all, well, pretty much nearly all of the levels in this game kinda connect together like that neatly, even though sometimes you can't really use that connection to go anywhere because it's just like some sort of locked gate. But you know, just nice to know. Ambush. When you have the fetish and go here, there is a 4-6 level skeleton ambush, which is kind of pathetic when you think about it. I hope I don't die to it, because that would be ridiculously embarrassing. Okay, regain your stamina, woman. There we go. That was kind of hilarious looking, how that guy's head flew off. Normal combo for you. Alright, let's insert that fetish. Heck yeah, this was my fetish, but now it's yours. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to pick up the King's Shield from that skeleton mini-boss. And that would not be relevant for the Amazon, except for there is text on it. But the text is really about nothing. There's like... I mean, I would run up there and get it, except I'm locked outside of this level at this point. But it says pretty much like, to some serpent, I judge you by... I conjure you by the one who judges, blah blah blah. Basically, sounds like someone is trying to summon some sort of, I don't know, serpent or conjure one. Doesn't really make a lot of sense, not relevant to the story, I don't think, so I don't really fret too much that I forgot to pick that up. Oh well, my knight will pick that up when I replay these levels as him, in preparation for whatever level I'm playing as him next. Maybe, just maybe, I will record that, whoa, that piece when I do that, but probably not. Okay, that was a failed attempt at this move. Also, I'm not sure you need to press both these switches because there's 2 switches and 2 doors that are open downwards, and I have a strong suspicion that one switch opens one door. But, wow, that was cool. Save. But I mean, whatever. Gotta kill the skeletons and such. Yeah, there is the other door, obviously. Let's go down here. Not a lot of this level left. There is a dwarf light armor. There is a light armor here. And I think with how I planned my characters throughout the levels, we might not see a single character actually find his armor on camera. But rest assured, they will be wearing their new digs when they have found it, so you just keep an eye out for that. Because I might forget to mention that. Yeah. Actually, like Amazon and Dwarf only have light armor. No, the Dwarf has light and medium, Amazon and Barbarian have light armors, and the Knight has all of them. Light, medium and heavy. This here is a trap. Not very dangerous if you know what to do. And actually it's pretty easy to react to it in time. Or you can just run backwards, wait for it to open and press a button that was there and depress like so. You press it and it closes the floor so you can get back. Although I think the trap will trigger again if you run through it again. And here, first of all, appreciation station for honest collisions. God damn it, this is terrible. I wish I could strafe in aiming mode like in Dark Souls. But yeah, you can totally shoot through the bars. If you do not have any arrows left, you can take the alternate route through here. This tunnel, there is water. There's a couple of skeletons which are maybe like level 1 or 2, they have 15 health or so. This is pointless, I'm not even going to go through this corridor, but you go through it, it's pretty much just an L-shaped corridor of water. Comes out either here or here, I think here probably, yeah. Down here you can see it. I can barely see it. But anyway, let's go fight the actual, like, boss, mini-boss of this level. Another new guy. The Golem. Somewhat dangerous, but probably, well, the bigger guys in this game are actually less dangerous usually. The skeletons and orcs pretty much remain the most dangerous enemies, and some knights will join them later in that list. But the big guys, like there is the trolls you have seen, the golems here, and some guy called Minotaur, whatever. You will see them later in the next level actually. For the most part, those are completely harmless because they are slow and large, and you never miss them when you hit them, and you can avoid them easily because they are slow, as I said. Even though there are some Minotaur variations with like a super one-hit kill weapon, which is kind of strange because the rest of them barely damage you. Anyway, this guy, ranged attacks there, melee attacks as well, some of them are fast. He is very hesitant to attack actually, that is fast. This is also fast. I'm just going to demonstrate his attacks while I'm this OP character here. Come on guy, do your hug attack. Also the music, I think this is like their theme, because it plays pretty much every time you fight them. Alright, you don't want to attack whatever. I mean, attack with your two-hand attack. And it's not even that, that's like a headbutt. He does this little attack from both sides with both hands simultaneously attack, which is the best because, yeah, this thing. Because you can run up to him after you dodge that, like run back to him to attack him, and you find out that even though he is already down and not even moving, not attacking you, you can still run into him and take full damage from that attack, which is kind of bullshit, but you just learn to not do that. Anyways, let's destroy this guy. Whoops. There we go. When he is near death, he will stumble after pretty much like every single of your attacks. Like that. But yeah, you probably saw how much damage my spin thing did. And that's what makes the Amazon the Amazon.
I am the blade that severs and pierces all things. I am he who revisits death upon the living dead.
This is another thing you get out of this level. This is mandatory unlike the shield because the level ends when you pick this up. Queen's Sword. I suspect it might have some sort of vampiric powers based on the color of the aura, or maybe it's just as good against undead, but of course, it being a sword, only Sargon will probably have any use for it. But we have to pick it up nonetheless. Come on. There we go. And that's the Tombs of Ephira. Let's watch the debriefing. Or, I mean, listen to the debriefing.
The enemy has outpaced you once again and taken this place. Though the tombs of the king and queen have not yet been desecrated, they contain powerful weapons that will be of great assistance.
Lies.
Other fell creatures have joined the orcs and the trolls, undoubtedly the fruits of necromancy. Could it be that a wizard or sorcerer is behind this destruction? The marking of the tower and the island map is undoubtedly the strongest clue to the enemy's origin.
And that's where it mentions that scroll that we found, the parchment. I think they just left the instructions back to their base in case they lost their way, got lost in this overworld map or something. I don't know, but yeah, there's that. The story thickens, the plot thickens. Apparently there is someone who can use magic! Horror of horrors. Yes, see you next time on Blade of Darkness when we go visit the island of Karum as the Barbarian. And until then, thank you for watching, see you next time, goodbye.